this is a...
Part 2 of the BioShock.
Oh, it's BioShock.
We went to Fort Frolic.
Yeah.
Fort Frolic.
Yeah. That's okay. What happened in Fort Frolic, Jack?
Yeah.
Well,
Jack.
you enter the room and then there's... I read the guy, I can't remember his real name, but when it came up first, I read it as Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh.
Because his name is something Cohen.
Something Cohen, yeah, Sander Cohen.
Sander Cohen.
Sander Cohen.
I read it as Sacha Cohen. So for the entire of my Fort Frolic experience,
It's Borat.
it was Borat speaking to me, going,
You need to
Sacha Baron Cohen was
you
like,
need to finish my tricon to
masterpiece. 4 photos of dead people.
I think it was 5 photos of dead people. I think.
4.
I think there were 5 things, but I think one of them may be something else. Maybe you or
Maybe.
something.
But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
Fort Frolic. So before we get into Fort Frolic, I really enjoyed the all the levels from the second part of the game.
Sure.
I really enjoyed it.
That's interesting. I prefer the first half.
I really like the second half.
I think Arcadia and Fort Frolic were the best 2 parts of the game. Everything before and after it, I had the same
is that
thoughts
the
as last one.
market? Is that the
Farmers Market, yeah, like
Yeah.
the bit with the trees. We arrive at Fort Frolic, where the radio was hijacked by Sander Cohen, an artist wishing for you to complete his masterpiece by taking photos of his dead enemies.
He's just gone on the wiki page.
No.
His notes. Yes.
I need my notes. I need my BioShock wiki
It's
page.
IGN's walkthrough.
I write good notes. You go to Poseidon Plaza to find and kill his 3 enemies:
Ooh.
Martin Finnegan, Silas Cobb, and Hector Rodriguez.
I don't remember which ones were which.
Not really. Well, so
Victor Cobb was the ice guy?
yeah, no, Martin Finnegan is the ice guy.
Oh, okay.
Then
He's my favourite.
Silas Cobb just kind of sets you on fire.
Is
and
he
then
the
that's
guy
about
in the
it.
shop?
Yeah. I thought he was a bit rubbish because he kind of just sets you on fire and then that's
Yeah.
it. And then Hector Rodriguez, he's like, he's like drunk and then just runs away. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that guy kind of... I think he was the worst one. The other 2 were pretty good.
Yeah.
The ice guy was
I
the
like
ice guy.
Fort Frolic.
Yeah, Fort Frolic was awesome.
It was my favourite part of the game, I think.
I've got a question for you two boys. When you killed all 3 of them and, like, the guy came down from the stairs,
Yeah.
did you just kill him immediately?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So I
killed
let
him
him
about
come downstairs
halfway
and,
down.
and finish his like cutscene, basically his big speech,
I didn't kill him in Fort Frolic.
Oh.
and then
You can see him later on. Yes.
when he was like, "Oh, you're not good enough though to open this other box." He says like
He
you,
does, yeah.
he says you get this prize, but you're not good enough to open this other box. And he's like, "Okay, well if I kill you, I can get the key and then open the other box." It's not even very good. You get like some like crossbow bolts, and that's about it, and some
I
money.
never used a crossbow.
Crossbow. I love the crossbow.
I like the crossbow.
But it can, when you upgrade it, it can take down a big daddy in like 4 shots.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It reminds
It is. The crossbow is the best weapon in the game.
It reminded me of the Half-Life 2 crossbow,
Yeah.
which is very good.
Crossbow is the best weapon in the game.
I wasn't a fan of it. Was not a fan.
Best weapon in the
For
game.
context, my favourite weapon is a wrench. Still.
Crossbow.
I learned to
Fantastic.
love the wrench once I got the
The
wrench
ice.
jockey perk,
Okay.
the ice perk,
The ice is so
and
good.
also I upgraded it to like swing faster.
Yeah. I just purely spec'd into
Yeah,
On the
I
mention-
enjoyed it after
On the
that.
mention of perks, I know in the last part I mentioned I didn't really get it. I didn't really use them. I actually made an effort to go into more of the perks, equip them. I used my plasmids a lot more, and I
It's
tell
a
you
lot
what,
different
the game
ones,
was
yeah.
very fun using the
Yeah.
plasmids.
It's built around it. 100%.
Yeah.
So I noticed this about in the second half that the upgrade stations for plasmids and for guns
Gene bag.
are quite hard to come. No, not gene bags, because gene bags is when you
The
swap
weapon
things out.
upgrades you don't.
Oh, like the Gavrer's Garden.
Yeah, like they're quite hard to come by. Like I didn't find
Yeah.
many throughout the game.
The
They-
weapon upgrades definitely.
Yeah, because I think they're supposed to.
You can't get
the
one.
Garners things. I think there's one in every level, a couple in every level, and they're on the map.
And I remember, to be honest, I didn't realise they were on the map until much later on, so basically right at the end. But I was going through Fort Frolic, and I was like, I would really like to upgrade my stuff right now, but I can't find any like upgrade stations, and
I tended to just upgrade the ones I knew. Like the grenade launcher is probably my favourite gun.
Oh yeah, I quite like a grenade launcher for big daddies, and that's about it
100%.
really.
Oh, I only used it for
Yeah.
Big Daddy. as well.
I learned to just like. I have so much money pretty much all of the time. Just use what I needed to use. Like, don't hold on to stuff because you're like, there's no need.
I had an abundance of Adam.
Really?
Yeah.
I was always upgrading.
I chose to save the two little sisters in Fort Frolic.
Okay.
And I like Sander Cohen. He's a fun character. You might like
Sacha
Baron
He's
Cohen.
not the best character in the game.
I think he's the best character in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he's the best. There's a lot of good characters.
He's fun. He reminds me
He's a
of
fun guy.
Fort Frolic was very much the Raven home of
Like Arkham Asylum.
That's so in Half-Life 2 there's a very sort of middle level of like that's very different to the before and after.
Is that the village?
It's like the haunted village.
I think I've got to that
yeah.
bit and I stopped.
It's like
okay.
the coolest part of Half-Life 2.
Right, okay.
And Fort Frolic's the coolest part of BioShock. So
yeah, by far.
well,
this is a very. I would say this feels very Half-Life-y.
oh yeah. I got that feeling towards this part, especially with the
I don't know when
crossbow.
Half-Life 2
Especially
came
with
out.
the wrench. Obviously, the wrench and the crowbar
Well,
in
that's true,
Half-Life, you know.
Yeah, but other than that, even like the
Half-Life 2 I think was 2003, and Half-Life, but the last Half-Life game was...
Yeah, Half-Life 2 was way before BioShock.
So it's
That's the
2007?
second BioShock, yeah.
I think Half-Life 2 Episode 2 was 2007, the same year as BioShock.
Okay.
So,
you can 100% see it. Though.
yeah. But Half-Life is on the list, so don't be
Spoilers.
playing Half-Life.
I
But I will definitely put Half-Life 2 on the list,
Yeah.
probably immediately after.
That's fine. That's fine.
I played the second one.
So you didn't kill Sander Cohen?
I
after
didn't
the
kill him
box.
at
I didn't
all.
realise that was an I thought you'd have to kill him regardless.
When do you see him later on?
When you go to the apartment, do you know when you go into the apartment, you go
Yeah.
to Atlas's, maybe not Atlas,
Yeah.
apartment, you can go to his apartment, and he's like, a guy! There you are, my guy!
Really? Was he
Yeah.
just a good guy?
Yeah, he
he's
stands
a
there,
guy,
you open the door,
yeah.
and you open the door, and he's like, you've made it to
My
my
boy."
apartment. He says like a whole line, and then I did shoot him back.
I can see why you didn't think he was a good guy though, because there was that part where he was like, "You don't trust me, do
Yeah.
you? I'm going to send bad guys at
Yeah.
you because
Yeah.
because you don't trust me and you think I'm
Well,
just."
I think on both my playthroughs, this is my second time, albeit it was a long time ago, I think I killed him the first time immediately.
As soon as he came down the side,
I saw
I had my
Hellfire,
gun. I was
like,
ready
this
for a
guy
fight,
dies.
but when he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, you can go," I was like, "All right."
He's quite hard to fight when you do attack him because he has he like shoots fireballs at you and he like teleports around the room.
One of the easiest fights in the game.
What, Sander Cohen?
Shotgun.
Shotgun. Okay.
It's
Because
so
I think you
good.
probably got him off
Just
guard
stun
when he was
lock him.
walking down the stairs
Yeah,
though.
probably. I think I used my heat-seeking missiles and then like went to
I never
fight
used
into.
the heat-seeking. I
They're
saw
good,
him in the
Again,
event
Good for
station.
turrets.
Only,
Really good for turrets.
only used the grenade launcher, and it's
But this is a good strength of the game. There's a lot of viable guns. None of the guns were shit.
Well, that's the thing. I think they were all shit.
They're all a bit
Nah.
shit.
Because they all just sound like they're shooting paper at you.
The
That-
machine gun doesn't
like
sound good.
it sounds like those machines that fire like tennis balls at you.
There's even them in the game.
Like
isn't
it
there?
feels
there
like
is, yeah.
all of the guns in the game feel like
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
impact
okay.
of just like
I like the weapons in BioShock.
I think they're
the
all rubbish.
I like the look of them when you upgrade them. They're really cool.
Oh yeah.
Like when you upgrade the machine gun, it gets like the little cogs on it.
When you upgrade
It's
the
cool.
pistol, it's like
Fucking
it's
huge.
double.
It's like
double
26
drum,
man.
double drum. Double drum.
The upgrades
mag.
are very cool, but I think all of the guns just themselves and the way they just feel when you shoot people are just so dull.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But anyway, we go on to Hephaestus because as you're leaving the room, Atlas is like, "Where the fuck have you been? Your
Yeah.
radio got hijacked. So go to Hephaestus. You're running out of time and shit." Like I kind of don't really know what
You have to prevent him from shutting down the core.
No.
Isn't it?
This is the bit where you're making the bomb, the EMP bomb.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So you go into
So-
Andrew Ryan's place and he's like, he locks the door.
Yeah, he locks the door because he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
if you want a place on my wall, just let me know," kind of thing.
that was quite cool.
Yeah.
Andrew Ryan is my favorite.
Andrew Ryan was very cool. I do.
Playing golf. Sorry, I've skipped ahead.
Yeah, no, he skipped ahead. But
You build the helium-3.
so yeah, you built the bomb. You collect all the bits for the bomb.
I like that.
But,
I think that's my favourite little segment.
But I felt very clever during this bit, and I do appreciate this game for making me feel clever because I think it's deliberate. Really, it's deliberate to make you feel clever. But it was like when you get to Kitzberg's office and he says, and there's a code on the door. What was the code on the door?
I think I hacked it. I don't know.
He said you can hack it, or you could know the code on the door.
Don't you read one of the voice box.
So yeah, on one of the radio tape things,
Yeah,
it
it's on that. Yeah.
It says, "Oh, Kitzberg is Australian, and his favourite day is Australia Day." And then later on, it's like, "Oh, you could hack the code to Kitzberg's office." And it was like, okay, well, I googled what the Australia Day was. I knew it was January. I knew it was January, but it's 0126.
That's quite cool.
Because it's American.
Did the members of Rapture have access to the internet?
So how did you pick up the EMP? Because it's a massive board, and Atlas is just like, "Oh, just pick it up."
Straight up the ass.
Yeah, man. Game logic.
There
you
was
could carry a minigun up your
carrying
ass.
munitions. You were carrying.
I always think that though. It's like when your character has like a massive arsenal. How does he carry all of those guns at once?
It's honestly. It is up the ass.
Because I remember years ago when I was like a kid playing Half-Life. I don't know, Half-Life's coming up a lot today, but when I was playing Half-Life, I was like imagining I was like, okay, well the crowbar could be on his hip, and the gun could be on his back, and there could be another gun on the other side of his back, and then there could be a pistol.
Came out, you could only carry 2. And
it makes sense. It made sense, even though they are giant guns.
Yeah, they are huge. But he's a Spartan, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, it's not the idea. It's more the idea of him reaching, like going, scrolling through the weapons, pulling out his machine gun. No, I don't want that. I want the pistol. No.
Yeah, you'd be very weighed down, clattering. If you tried to stealth, you'd be like.
Can I make another point? Did we all play with a controller?
No, I played with a PC.
Yes.
Okay.
And I found the controls a little bit difficult at times.
Did you find the weapon? Did you have a weapon wheel?
No, I didn't have a weapon wheel. It was just
the weapon wheel. I only figured out towards the end. It works off both sticks.
Oh, really?
And so if you're moving forward and you just want to like go on the weapon wheel and you're already moving forward, it will just keep going to the fucking pistol.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, why is it just going to the pistol? I figured out like, after Andrew Ryan, just let go and use one of the sticks, and it would do it.
Okay.
Was the whole time?
I can't remember. I never had an issue with the weapon wheel.
It wasn't like a huge
Never.
problem, but
And also, if you
sometimes
tap-
I'll find a bag.
If you tap the bumper, it goes.
Yeah, I know. But
I never had an issue with.
A weapon wheel would have been nice actually on PC because
I bet there is a weapon wheel.
Because I had to it was either scroll wheel or press 1, 2, 3, and then to use the plasmids you had to press F1, F2, F3. And it was just a bit fiddly.
Yeah. Sure.
So, and it just took. I never really got used to it.
Yeah. Okay.
I would always be like, fuck, no, not that one. No, not the fire.
Okay.
It was always that. And then, with the EMP, you can open the door to Ryan's office.
Yeah.
And
he's chilling.
And he's chilling. He's playing golf. He's just like, hey,
he doesn't get a single one in the hole.
He's shit at golf.
He's also like 2 yards out.
He is too. Listen. We've all got to start somewhere.
I know he's stressed.
How was your golfing skills when you were 85 years old?
Yeah, albeit.
Could you not
when you were 85 years old?
I remember it well.
Maybe it was like, guys, I want to, Rapture's falling apart. I'm going to pick up.
Tom is quite
stressed. All right,
Tom is Benjamin Button. We all know this.
I ain't got much longer. I'm only 24. I've got 24 years.
24 years left.
Back in the womb, boy.
Yeah, you get sucked up.
What happens at the end of Benjamin Button?
I think he just dies as a baby. I
don't know.
I just assumed you went back. Yeah. I've not seen it. Finds just has to find a woman. Quick! Becomes a sperm.
What a curious tale, though.
It's a real
What
curious
a curious case.
Well, to be fair, it's curious because what the fuck
What a curious case of Benjamin Button.
Welcome to the film club, where we talk about films every month. Today we're talking about a film that none of us have seen.
Is it Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt's in it.
I thought, is it a remake of that film? Anyway, BioShock.
BioShock.
I've not seen it.
Anyway,
Andrew Ryan has
he has a big twist for you.
Oh shit, yeah.
He's playing golf.
He has a big twist
really
for
bad
you.
at it.
A big twist that I don't know if you remember, but I predicted very correctly in the last episode.
I feel like
Not exactly.
I said it was brainwash.
But you said everyone was brainwashed.
Okay. I said everyone was brainwashed.
Yeah, let's go back.
I did say everyone was brainwashed, not just your character. But I was correct. It was brain. I figured. You know what? I figured it out straight away from the very first radio at the beginning, where it's like, would you kindly pick up the radio in the bath? I figured out just straight away. I was like, oh, would you kindly is a maybe I've got this from memory of because of when I've seen BioShock Infinite in the past. But
I don't think it's in Infinite.
I think they do.
They mentioned.
I think they reference
what I would say is this is a very popular.
It's almost 20 years old.
I didn't know anything about this game though in particular.
But you still, would you kindly?
When I first played it,
I guarantee, if you
fuck?
googled "would you kindly," just that phrase.
Oh yeah,
the first thing
of course
comes
it
up
would.
with
Of course it would. But I also don't think I knew this before. I don't think maybe it's like a hidden memory
I would
deep
say
somewhere.
if you had no idea this was like the twist that was happening, it would have been so much better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
But
that's how the first time I played it. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't know it. I just guessed it.
I mean, it's very lucky.
Yeah, it was a very lucky guess because there was also a second theory that it was the second theory was that I was saying last episode, don't trust Atlas. I think he's a bit of a shit.
No. I will say that I still don't take anything aback. Atlas is still. Yeah. I still my favourite character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of like he's just a gangster just trying to take over the city.
Yeah, but the idea was that I was like, I think his niceness is working to his advantage.
One of the first things Peter said to me when we met after just after he started playing this BioShock was, I like how your character just gets along with everything. I like how he survives the plane crash and he just like, oh, I've been in a plane crash, not knowing that he caused the plane crash.
Yeah.
I was sitting there like...
No, my one was, he when he goes down in there, he's just like, and Atlas is just like, just inject yourself with this like magic poison, basically. And it's like, and I remember thinking like, oh, he just kind of does that. Like, he doesn't, there's no, but I always put that down to, silent protagonist, basically, of like you're supposed to react to it, basically, of like like how in Zelda, you're supposed to be reacting to what's happening in the world rather than Link saying this is happening in the world because he doesn't say anything. I thought it was down to like basically like if you just went and did that, like injected yourself with that poison yourself, that was your choice, not down to the fact that the character did it. That was down to you, the player. So if you hesitated to do it, then that's the correct response, basically.
Sure.
That's what I think. It's almost like you're playing the brainwash.
Yeah.
Almost. You're not playing the character. You're playing because you're following.
It's worse of his voice.
You're following the objectives.
Yeah, of course.
And on a normal game, you'd just be like, okay, I'm just going to follow the objectives.
So I have that written down twice actually. Of it explains that like the reason why he just did stuff, and there's also a bit of trivia that explains that as well with from the devs. We'll get to that at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read what I've actually written here.
I like the before you go into Andrew Ryan's room. There's like there's like the big board of like would you kindly and it like connects.
Oh yes,
yeah.
You theoretically work it out.
You figure it out there because it says that the tape is literally in front of you. It's literally called mind control.
Yeah, well, I didn't know it was called mind control, but I didn't read that part. But I was listening to it thinking like, oh okay, this is what, because it was a bit more.
It's the game trying to be like, come on.
Because it's the guy with the scientist who's like, oh that's a nice puppy, kill the puppy, and then the kid's like, no I don't want to kill the puppy. He's like, would you kindly kill the puppy? He's like, okay.
Yeah, going back, one of my criticisms, and it's probably a criticism because this is the second time I played it. I'm not a fan of the audio logs.
I like the audio logs.
The amount of them. It's like all of the stories.
Without them, there'd be a lot missing from this game.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like if you have to tell your story in audio logs, I'm not saying the story, but like a lot of context, like it's kind of annoying. Going back because you're like, it feels like a bit of a chore listening to.
It's telling you, it's giving you like the background basically.
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
I would say none of it. There's only probably a couple of audio logs crucial to the story. A lot of it is just more background stuff, which is if you want to find out about Rapture, here you go. If you don't.
It's more like
I wouldn't take it out.
It's telling you like how the society functions basically when it was functioning. I like how we hear people mentioning Fontaine throughout the entire game though, of like how it's always because I think even Atlas says Fontaine's dead.
I like Atlas, but Frank Fontaine, his voice is really annoying.
It's clearly the same voice actor as Atlas, because there are parts where he's talking with this American accent where it's like, oh, you can still hear like a bit of like Atlas's voice in there. Like I do like that. You can they could have just easily recast the
get a new cast or change his voice edit his voice or something.
I don't know how you'd edit your voice to be Irish.
Well, no. You put it in a sound. You put it in like a sound thing. Yeah.
There was a bit of trivia that was like he was originally not supposed to be Irish, and they had to re-record all the lines like a month before release. I can't remember what it was before. I think he was just an American before, and then he turned to another American.
That would be a bit like.
He's also like the American accent is also like a Brooklyn gangster accent, which I quite like as well.
Yeah.
He sounds like the guys from Arkham Asylum. Guys, it's the Bat. If he talked in a normal
It's the bat! What's the frickin' bat doing here?
We find out that the plane crashed because the parcel Jack was carrying had a gun inside of it, and it was written "Would you kindly" on the front of the box of the plane on the parcel, and then he killed the pilot.
Yeah.
Did you predict that?
I didn't predict that part.
Did you predict that you were the genetic son of Andrew Ryan?
No, I didn't know that part. No.
And like you got accelerated aging.
It's him and the doctor.
No, I didn't know that part.
The stripper.
Because you can go in the stripper's room, and there's like a voice log where it's like, "Oh, I gave up my baby," and it's
okay.
you.
Okay. That one's vague enough that I feel like maybe if they wanted that big reaction, they could have made it a bit more vague. But then at the same time,
you could easily miss.
But at the same time, I'm just a fucking genius who predicted this thing. No.
I think it'd be good to play. I think it'd be good to play Infinite.
Oh yeah.
Have you two played it?
I watched the Let's Play of it when it came out.
I've played it. I very much want to play it.
I think Infinite, in my opinion, is better than this game.
I think it's I think it's simply aged probably a little bit better. What I would say this BioShock has done is it's given me a want to play the other ones.
Oh yeah.
I've got a real good mood to play BioShock 2. I know you say it's not as good, but I don't know anything of that game. I want to play that. I really want to play Infinite.
Well, we'll do it now. Because at the end of the episode, I always ask, would we be interested in playing the sequels? Yeah, yes. I'm interested in playing the sequels.
The second half of the game, it was like, I was almost like, you know what, I'm not going to sell. See, I brought BioShock for this. It was like, I'm not going to sell it straight away because I think I will play it again.
Oh yeah.
The best part of this game is it's the first game in the series, and it pretty much nails it. There's no like, they're just setting the groundwork up for like a future game. It's like nice self-contained.
Oh yeah, because
BioShock 2, I'm going to imagine probably follows it slightly. Infinite's got nothing to do with it.
The only thing I know about BioShock 2 is that it's set 10 years later.
Okay, but I know it's in Rapture. Yeah. Infinite's got nothing to do with it. It's a completely different city. We're in Columbus.
Well, in Infinite,
Columbia.
If we do play Infinite, we should play the DLC, which is in
Burial. I have heard Burial at Sea is very good.
Yeah, it's very good. Well, but
we've just escaped. We actually missed the bit when Andrew Ryan set the core to explode.
Yeah. I didn't predict that Atlas and Fontaine were the same person. Yeah. I should say that.
Because obviously when you can clarify, it's like, now would you kindly put the damn key in the machine?
Oh yeah,
stop the self-destruct.
Yeah.
And then he starts laughing, and then that's when you find you
that's
fall down the vent, and the little sister's like, follow me.
Yeah, actually, I've got a question about this. If you had killed all the little sisters up until this point, would that part been different?
No.
Okay. Because why would they have helped you?
I don't know.
But the ending's different.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know the ending's different, but
it's bad ending.
Why would they have helped you if you
murdered
them? Why would have Tenenbaum even been like, oh yeah, no, I'll help you?
I've got a feeling her dialogue's probably different.
Yeah, it probably is, yeah.
I know it is at the ending bit is, if you do the bad ending.
Yeah.
But
I feel like there should have been a branch here of, if you had killed them all,
something else helped
you had to escape on your own.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe when you go down into her lair or whatever, maybe there's no little sisters. You wake up, there's all them playing. Maybe there's none of them.
Maybe.
I that's something I don't know, but I've got a reading. She'll probably help you anyway because it's almost like she probably doesn't like you, but she hates Fontaine even more.
Yeah, sure.
So I know they give hints, both of them. But I don't understand why Ryan or Tenenbaum didn't just tell you before that Atlas was a shithead. Like, I know they give hints before of like you shouldn't trust him, but like why didn't they just say it outright?
I think there is a reason, but I don't know what it is.
Because like there's a bit right at the beginning where
Andrew Ryan doesn't know who you're working for.
Well, he does. He figures it out.
Eventually,
but no one's listening.
He should have just warned you straight away, though.
Eventually, also Andrew Ryan wants to go out on his own terms. I think by the time he finds out, and this is why he gets you to kill him. He's like, I'm going out on my own terms. That's why he orders you to kill him.
And I suppose it's possible that Tenenbaum didn't know, but then when you meet her in this bit where you wake up you wake up in her lab, she does say like, oh, well, now you know the truth. And it's like, okay, well, when did you know the truth? Because right at the beginning of the game,
there will absolutely be.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is.
The only reason I say it is because BioShock's such a story game, I'm willing to bet there's.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
Comics for BioShock.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So here's the thing about extended media like that.
If it's not in the game.
If it's not in the game, yeah, bollocks to it. Like you should be able to create a coherent story within the game. And I'm not accusing this game of that.
No,
I'm just saying
this is
some games are.
This is not even BioShock or games. This is any films.
Oh yeah, any game at all. Yeah.
The Star Wars films. They should be the basis.
Yeah.
You shouldn't need to read a Star Wars
You
comic
shouldn't need to
understand to understand the film.
A bit of a different side to it. The Tom Holland Spider-Man. Yes, we all know the Spider-Man origin story, but the fact that we didn't see Tom Holland have the origin story is stupid.
I think I saw somewhere the other day, but they're doing. This is about Spider-Man. They're doing a.
Welcome to the Spider-Man.
They're doing an animation of. I think it's coming out very, very soon on Disney Plus. For like MCU Spider-Man Origins, like an animated series.
That's okay. Decade too late.
I was about to say that.
Everyone knows Spider-Man. The intro. I don't think
absolutely.
But then,
they should have done that in the first film.
I'm not so sure.
They really should.
Make it different then. Make it interesting. Make it different.
Anyway, this is becoming a Spider-Man.
It is becoming a bit different. But I do agree with the whole.
I like the Into the Spider-Verse thing where it's like very, very quickly. This is the origin. And go.
Should have been like that.
They even have references to the other, like, with a bit with the train. Like, it was like, I'm Spider-Man, this is how it happened, and now I'm Spider-Man.
That's the best bit, like, all these Spider-Man, you could not know who Spider-Man 2099 is, and you'd know straight away. Like, Miguel.
Absolutely. But also, 2099, surely there's a different way he became Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. There's like, my name's Miguel, and I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like Into Spider-Verse, good film.
I need to see the second one.
I never saw the second one.
Fucking hell, we're getting off topic.
Right, anyway, back to BioShock. So
we went to the film club to the Spider-Man club.
So we were rescued, and then she's like, "I'm going to help you take the. I've taken the would you kindly programming out your brain." Because then Fontaine, he's like, "My name's Fontaine. I'm going to speak like."
He gives like another code blocker or something.
He says like,
"Would you kindly go be stepped on by a big daddy?"
And he's like, Salvador, and he's like, "Is it Salvador?"
Yeah, it's something like Protocol 5 or something like that, or Order 66 or something, and then your heart stops beating.
Yeah, and he gives you a heart attack.
But the heart is a strong organ, which means that your brain can't. It's gonna take a while before it happens.
I've got a feeling the doctor did something as well. Doesn't she say she's done something to prevent
most of the program, but not.
It's not instant. It's almost like. I'm affecting you, but I'll get you eventually.
At the end of the game, how does that get cured?
You drink
potions.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no.
I'm not right. I don't like this bit.
I really like that bit when you do the plasmid stocks because the reason I liked it is I was trying plasmids, hadn't even got, and it was I made for a good point when I was in that section to use the plasmids.
Oh no, I liked that bit. I like bit when you're escaping and your plasmids are like unstable and change. I like that, but a bit when you're going around that big cavern with the waterfall and you're just sort of fetch questing stuff. It's like this is just a bit slow.
I think at this point I was getting a bit. I was rushing it.
I was enjoying this. I
was enjoying it, but I was like,
I was.
I remember
this. Again, I really enjoyed the second part of the game.
I played it all in one sitting. Same with Ratchet and Clank.
That's probably not the way to go.
No, I liked it. I had fun.
I think if you liked it that much and you finished it in one sitting,
if you like it, I always feel like that. You almost get a worry of burning out. So anyway, you get the potions to fix your heart attack.
Yes,
the 2 potions.
2 potions.
Then what?
192 has some fun side effects. That's what my point was. And then we're into Apollo Square, and I liked Apollo Square.
Is this the bit with the rooms?
It's a bit with the big train station.
Is this the bit with the rooms as well, though? The apartments. This is where I met Sacha Baron Cohen again.
What I really liked about this area is that the first audio tape you get is from Diane McCormack. And her audio tape kind of answers my criticism about the plasmids were things like fire and not wacky things like being more intelligent or like you grow an extra arm or something like that. Because that was my criticism. So like, why would fire be a thing in the society? But it kind of answers it in the sense that she says that the Apollo Square is basically like the rough part of town. It's where like all like the criminals get sent basically. Because there's always that radio throughout the game that's like, if you're seen like vandalizing or anything, you get sent to Apollo Square, and it's supposed to be kind of like the dodgy part of town.
Right. Yeah.
And Diane says that she saw a woman trying to escape from Apollo Square, and one of the guards just pointed at her, and she set on fire. So what it was is the fire plasmid is a form of oppression, not a form of freedom.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Because there was the argument that in the society
security
where you can do anything you want,
Yeah.
of course you have fire hands. And it's like, well, that seems a bit weird, but like, no, it was actually a form of like,
Containment.
yeah.
Sorry,
Go for it.
It's coming and going.
Welcome to the Sneeze Anticipation Club.
God,
It's gonna be a 5 out of 10.
please let me sneeze.
The Sneeze
5 out of
Anticipation.
10. 5 out of 10.
I think it's gone.
All right then. Well, join us next time for the Sneeze Anticipation
We'd
Club.
like to apologise.
Oh, no,
We're back in the room.
Part two.
There's been a development.
It's
gone.
So one of the
I'm
fella.
thinking about it so much. I think it's gone. I'm sorry, guys.
People have paid good money for this.
I'm going to have to give that Sneeze a 0 out of 10 because it just didn't happen. It didn't
There
happen.
wasn't one.
But that's part of the Sneeze. The anticipation was very good though. I give it a 5 out of 10.
I really want to sneeze. Let me sneeze. Just know, if you hear a sneeze in the future, know the relief.
You have paid good money for this.
I've been very sneezy today. I think the hay fever. You know, it's been...
BioShock.
Actually, I think it's been petrichor today.
Biosneeze. Yeah,
I've got question marks here going. You turn yourself into a big daddy? Question mark.
And you don't really change anything. You've still got a jumper.
And it's like okay, and it's like what I don't get about this part is that they say that turning yourself into Big Daddy is irreversible. Like you get basically like sewn into the suits or so, basically.
It didn't convey that really.
Well, no, it didn't convey that. But also, why your character's not being brainwashed anymore? Why is he doing this?
He wants to get revenge on Fontaine. Because before this, you're chasing Fontaine.
Yeah.
You see him, he's like, "Oh, come catch me!" He's the guy who's jumping about.
Right.
Yeah,
You're chasing him, and then he goes through the doors, and the doors can only be opened by the little sister.
It feels like a big stretch though. Of like, I want revenge of this person. Let's permanently alter my body.
Also, like, if the doors can only be opened by little sisters, then they're helping you anyway.
Yeah, and also, why are they helping you? If you
No,
know
because
that?
they to get the ones. Obviously, you need to dress up as one. Because that's why you need to smell like one, sound like them. Then you need the costume.
The little sisters are helping you anyway.
They didn't help you.
I don't know. It felt
They
weird.
didn't help you before. They were just in the room with you.
Turning into a Big Daddy felt weird.
But I feel like you almost weren't doing it fully. You've shown the appearance to smell.
No. They made it very clear that this is a permanent change. They made it very clear in the dialogue.
But at the end, you see your hand and it's not in the glove or anything.
Yeah,
Big Daddy stuff.
there was a better way of doing it.
I would say,
You put on
but
like
I
an
did.
actual suit,
What I
there's
would still
cutscene
like.
of like.
I still very much liked
Well,
the.
in fact, there's a bit where hang on, no, this doesn't make any sense at all because there's a bit where you get your vocal cords changed. There's like a drill on the wall, and you go up to the wall, and the drill goes zzz into your throat.
You don't hear yourself talk.
There's no reaction to that. But then again, as you said at the end, you see your character again, so it's
You just see the hand.
but
I think this is probably
but
like,
he didn't go about his entire life on Earth, or like on the surface, just as a Big Daddy with a human hand, did he?
But he's only like 3 years old, isn't he? He's just been accelerated growth.
But also at the end, it's also implied that those girls grew up. And,
Little sisters,
yeah.
Fucking. I think this is probably what made them think we should make a game where you are a Big Daddy. That's BioShock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought spoilers. I thought the second game was you. It was still Jack as the Big Daddy.
I actually thought that as well. I thought when they said, "Oh, you're going to come Big Daddy," I was like, "This is going to be the second one, isn't it? You're going to be playing as the same character." I don't know.
Apparently that's from what I gather, from what I've seen, that's not the case.
Okay, fair enough.
But that might be.
I never finished BioShock 2. I didn't know.
That might not be the case.
I don't know. Literally, don't know anything about it.
All right, and then you turn yourself into the Big Daddy, and then the escort quest. The kid was annoying and would stand in the fucking front of you. What? Move out the way, you little shit. It actually says right there. Move out the way, you shit.
I never had a problem with this escort.
This is the first time I died, and I realised there's actually no consequences of me dying.
Oh yeah, there's none
whatsoever.
There's no consequences.
This is a Lego game.
Yeah, this is a Lego game. Absolutely.
And that made me think, oh, I don't like it.
What I would say, if you die early on in the game, you can get sent back far.
Yeah, but all the enemies are dead, and you basically just
because they
respawn.
respawn.
Well, not when I did it.
They respawn when I replayed. Not all the enemies, like the Big Daddies, stay dead, but I would still find splicers and that.
Okay, well I died a couple.
And you don't get ammo.
I assume those are just ones you missed. I assume those are just ones you missed then.
At that point, I was like, don't like this.
Alright. And then what happens after this? What happens after this? Because I've actually reached the end of
The
my
escort
notes.
quest, and then you fight Atlas, it'll be.
You get given shitloads of Adam, right?
Yeah, so you get basically...
But you have no point to spend them, because there's no Gamma's Garden, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
There is
Actually,
there is an
might
Adam's
be.
Garden, but where all the ammo is, it's the classic.
Before you go.
There's a lot of stuff here. There's a boss fight coming.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. Yeah, going in South there was just lots of shit about.
It's literally ammo of every gun. There's the 2 shops,
Yeah.
the bullet and the clown shop.
Yeah.
There's a genie bank, the gatherer's garden. It's literally everything.
It was the classic game thing.
It is the classic.
Here we go.
The boss fight.
The guy who voiced the Circle of Values is the game director.
Yes, it's Ken Levine. I think his name is.
Yeah.
Ken Levine.
I think so.
So, but there was like an Adam machine, but I was like, well, I've already bought everything that I want. Everything. If I'm buying any of this other stuff, it's stuff that I'm just not going to use. So
Before we get to this point, because I think this is all the little sisters, did we save them all? Did we sacrifice them?
I saved all of them but the one I mentioned the first part.
I'm going to save that until right at the end.
I saved them all, I missed a couple, and I sacrificed one because I was trying to reload.
So you fight the boss, and it's just a bit like, okay, it's Fontaine's a big Hulk guy.
He does mention.
He looks like the guy from Watchmen.
It's because he's turned into a splicer. He's
I
injected
know that.
Now,
he doesn't look
I have 2 things with the boss fight.
Yeah.
I like the idea of you're fighting him and then you have to inject him. I like that bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was really easy.
It was really easy. I did it
That
very
was
quickly,
that was my big issue with it. I went in like, okay, I'm just going to give it a go.
Yeah.
And I was, I think we were. I think I was going somewhere. I was like, I'll just give it a quick go to see what I'm looking in for.
Accidentally.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably less. And I was just like, oh.
The only annoying part was the minions.
No.
That was it. I only went in with 2 health
Oh,
packs.
I didn't even really care about this.
No,
but,
I
2 health bars. Can you get a second
packs.
health packs?
Packs,
Okay,
yeah.
alright. I was gonna say, did you get because
No.
I think I only did like 1 upgrade to my health.
Yeah.
Really? I did all of the upgrades too.
I will actually say I do think this boss is the worst part of the game.
It reminds me of the end, and you're gonna hate this, but it reminds me of the ending to Arkham Asylum, where the last boss is like you're building up to the Joker, and the last boss is just Joker as a big Hulk guy, and it's like, oh, that's a bit
Why
rubbish.
do you say I'm going to like that?
Because it's Arkham Asylum. You like Arkham Asylum.
I like
Arkham Asylum is
He likes Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum is perfect, bar that.
I love Arkham Asylum. as well.
I prefer Arkham City.
Okay, well, I didn't really like. I didn't really play. I played the first couple of hours. I didn't really like
Arkham
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum.
I do like Arkham Asylum. Anyway, back to BioShock.
It's so close to a 10 out of 10 Arkham Asylum, just quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So close to a 10 out of 10. The only bit letting it down is that. That's it.
Yeah. Arkham Asylum's very good. Maybe one day we'll play it with nostalgia. Does it count as
Arkham
nostalgia
Asylum's good.
anymore? I guess.
Yeah,
It's like what 15
It's
years
always,
old now.
I would absolutely say
I
Arkham
thought
Asylum's nostalgia.
Okay. Anyway, BioShock.
I wasn't a fan.
You just shoot him, and then he goes back into his machine. You just stab him, and then he comes out again. You shoot him again. You go into his machine. You stab him.
I like that bit, and I also like the bit how every time he goes back and comes out, he's using a different plasmid.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh, didn't you?
Because I killed him so quickly. I just
Okay,
didn't
so
notice that.
first he has ice, and then it's like you have to use the fire to kill him.
Oh, okay.
You can shoot him as well, but the fire affects him. Then he turns into. Also, if you set him on fire, he runs to the water, and that's when you can electrocute him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's something I found. I was like, that's very good.
I killed him so quickly. I just didn't even notice that.
That's again.
Shotguns.
If he was harder, that would have been a really
It's
good
like
boss
that
fight.
bit where
If he was really hard, if he was harder, that would have been a good boss fight.
Here's a question, and I think, in my opinion, is the correct answer. What's the best plasmid?
bees. I liked bees.
They're fucking useless.
They're just bees.
I didn't use
I like the
bees.
decoy as well.
You like jazz?
My plasmids
That's the bee
were
plasmid.
fire, electric, decoy, bees, and
I had a fair few of them.
And rage, I think.
So my favourites, I like the electric upgraded.
oh yeah.
Hypnotise Big Daddy.
That turned out to be shit. Cause the big
I used it
did
once.
No damage to splices.
I only used it
No,
once.
they guarded me.
I
for
only
life.
used Hypnotise Big Daddy once during the bit where your plasmids were getting messed up and you were changing. And I just so happened to get that right as we got to the it might have been scripted. It might have been like on delivery.
I don't know. I think it's random.
I think it is random.
But I just so happened to get it right as I was Big Daddy in front of me. I was like, okay, use that.
You're both wrong. When the cold blast,
Cyclone.
it's like the fist.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't think
it's
I've used it.
overpowered.
I
It
never
just
got
instantly kills everything.
Oh, okay.
If you use it against any splicer, they'll freeze and you just wrench them and they're dead.
I never got it.
I never
Yeah,
think I've
so,
used
and
it.
it takes off for the boss fight at the end. It takes off that much health.
Okay.
No matter what he's on.
I could do that with just punching him.
Well, yeah, I know. But,
Yeah.
Unless you're a wrench-only playthrough, because this would be quite easy.
Yeah, I reckon you probably
Well,
would.
easy,
yeah.
I basically did towards the end.
So following, obviously, we get to the end.
Yeah.
So going to yours.
So my one was, I'm very upset with the ending.
Okay. Which ending did you get?
Well, that's it. I'm
It's
very
free.
upset with the ending because I saved every single little sister apart from 2. I saved probably about 15 of them and I killed 2 of them. And yet I still got the bad ending. I think that is
bad.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that is absolutely...
What happened in the bad ending?
You take over. The world.
That's it. Here are my notes here. Here are my notes here for this. So I'm going to read what it says here. Is that it? A short cutscene and then boot it back to the main menu. Not even any end credits. I think because I killed 2 little sisters but rescued like 15 of them, I still get the bad ending where Tenenbaum calls me brutal and unleashed horrors of Rapture upon the world. A nuclear bomb. That's just a bit naff. There are plenty of more terrifying things in Rapture that could have been used as a weapon against the surface world. And at the end, it was just something that we already know. It's 1960. We already know what the nuclear bomb is. I just think there are so many more creative things that were in Rapture that you could have released upon the surface world.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, I mean,
a nuclear bomb. That's such a cop out.
I mean, that's the thing you take over the submarine. You release the splices, and the splices take over the nuclear submarine.
Yeah. That's such a cop
out.
That's
not. It's almost like that's not something they've released. They've captured that.
Yeah.
They've released the splicers and potentially all the other endings. You just don't see it.
I'm really, really, really. I put 3 reallys here. Really, really, really disappointed by the ending. WTF? It just ended. What happened to Rapture? I feel cheated.
You get credits as well.
It's literally just like the horrors of the world. Straight back to the menu. Like not even any end credit. Like it feels like they didn't even want to put. It feels like they rushed the ending. Basically,
it's like there needs to be a consequence for you.
I wonder if they were.
There is no consequence though.
I wonder if they were rushed to the ending, considering the Big Daddy bit, the boss fight, and the.
It definitely feels.
I wonder if they were made to finish the rush it.
Yeah, it just feels like, oh shit, we have to put an ending thing.
Can I piss you off?
Sure.
So I saved every single one bar 1.
Yeah, I know if you skill one.
I missed about 3 or 4.
Oh,
Completely missed.
Oh, you can miss them.
But somehow I'd say that's worse than
killing
them.
Yeah. Because
they're still little sisters.
Because they would eventually been killed by the splice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I still got the good end.
Yeah.
I got the okay as well. There's like a better ending, but there's just more little sisters.
I looked it up, and if you kill 1, that's okay. But if you kill 2, then you get the bad ending. And I think that's bullshit.
Peter is going to find Dishonored the best game in the world.
I think I'm going to like
it.
I hate like one choice like so early on could just impact your whole game.
Yeah. I like the idea of 2 endings. It's just I do feel like.
Because it's not even an ending that you can like just like, oh okay, I'll just go back a couple of saves and then get the good ending instead. You have to go back all the way to the beginning.
So, no, I don't mind stuff like that because that encourages you to do 2 playthroughs. Yeah. It's more.
I'm so cheap.
It's more. It shouldn't be a low. What's the word?
I feel so, but also you're going to replay the entire game for a 30. Not even that. I think less than 30 second
achievement.
Cutscene.
You get an achievement, but then I imagine on your second,
on the regular.
But on the obviously, when I replay it, I'd be getting all the collectibles anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like it's such a rubbish ending to an otherwise okay game.
Yeah.
Well, I actually want to go into something before we go on to trivia and the stores. Did anyone try out the museum mode?
I didn't know.
No, I think
because there's challenges you can do, and there's museum mode. Museum mode, Peter, I think you would have loved.
Okay. It's similar to COD.
Yeah, you go around, but it's like it's basically the developers are going like, "Hi,
okay,"
but it shows you like this is what the Big Daddy used to. You used to have 2 drills.
Yeah.
Then when we added, a last minute thing we did was the little sisters, and we decided to make them have one hand so we could feel connected.
That would have been very interesting. That would have been very good for the trivia section because I don't have much for trivia this week.
Well, I can go. Well, this is the trivia.
Did you guys play just the vanilla version of like the non-remastered version?
I played the regular version. Yeah.
Oh, you played okay. I'm the only one who played remastered.
Yeah.
I think the museum was in there. There was developer commentary. but they were basically like I thought what they were going in. Were like you play for similar to Portal. Have you ever played developer commentary?
I played Half-Life Lost Coast, which is a developer commentary.
Okay. So I was expecting it to be like you get to a certain point in the game, then the developer starts talking while you're playing.
Yeah.
No, it's just a cutscene.
Okay.
It's shit.
It's almost like
It's interesting.
It's not. It's almost like It's almost like one of the. I know. Last of Us done it. It's almost like a documentary they do.
Yeah.
They add on the game. It's like, listen, this is us making the game basically.
The worst part is that it's developers being interviewed by Jeff Keighley.
Oh.
Yeah. And it feels a little weird. I don't like it.
What was this for? Which was this for Portal?
No, BioShock.
BioShock. Oh, okay. I didn't know you had anything to do with BioShock.
I think it's only in the remastered one.
Okay.
He didn't. He's just interviewing the developers.
No,
like,
I can't remember.
So what did you guys do on this bit of the game? It's like, oh, we put in the Big Daddy's here to sit like, it's like, fuck off, Jeff.
Fuck off, Jeff.
Get out of my game. It felt really weird.
Sorry, there's another bit here. Because I had a bit of rant here typing in this Google Doc.
Okay.
Looking up the other endings, they're shit. Harvesting all of them or harvesting some of them basically gives you the same ending, except Tenenbaum just sounds a bit less angry in one of them. Like it's just two different takes of the same voice.
I do. As much as I think it's short and that same issues. I do like the good ending.
Yeah.
What pisses me off as well about this, it's not with endings, but if you objectively if you're optimizing your run, the good ending is the only way to do it because you get more Eve.
Oh yeah,
being
yeah.
Good, which makes zero sense.
Yeah.
If anything, I'd rather it be like it's harder to be good, but if you go bad, the game is so much easier.
Yeah.
Like you get really over.
That should be how it works. Yeah.
If you play good, you have barely any plasmids. That's how it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah. All that epic build-up for a 30-second cutscene at the end that tells you nothing about the aftermath. It really feels like the devs just gave up and just couldn't be bothered to write anymore. Like, what happened? Like, sure, there are sequels, there are books, but if you can't put that in the game, then it's bollocks. Because at the time, this was the only game. If you were playing this in 2007, that was it. What happened to Rapture?
It's nothing. It's not like a personal end to his story. It's like he gets old, and so do the women. It's not. Like, it's basically just like it's nothing really.
Yeah, and like. Imagine if a film ended and just right at the end, just black screen, no credits, just like I've got an idea, black screen. To be honest, that film would be better in that case. That film.
I'm actually just seeing. I'm just googling, seeing if it was
Alright.
were rushed to.
They just let down what is otherwise a pretty good game.
And also, it should be surely killing the little sister should be more nuanced in that it shouldn't be so black and white, good or bad. Like it's good to save them, it's bad to kill them. Like it should be more nuanced than that. Bearing in mind, there's like brainwash going on and eugenics going on and things like that. It should be more like
could be interesting.
Yeah,
I've just got something here. It's like the good bad endings and the reasons. They were last minute detail asked to be added by higher ups, so they didn't even want it in the game. I think there was a separate ending.
Probably.
Yeah. Hadn't planned for it.
I do know that part of the trivia is that I do know they didn't want to do cutscenes at all because they were taking inspiration from again Half-Life 2, which is because Half-Life 2 doesn't have any cutscenes in the entire game, and apart from the G-Man bits, but.
BioShock doesn't really though. The only cutscene I can think of is the "Would you kindly," which I'm kind of like fair enough. That should be a cutscene because it's got to make you do what he tells you to do.
But is Half-Life saying that those bits where story's happening but you can still move around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, apart from some G-Man bits.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's spoilers for Half-Life when we eventually get to it, which I would love to.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
I'd love to eventually. It's so good.
So the museum room is a. It's almost like if you play Modern Warfare 2, obviously you know people haven't. It's basically that you have all the exhibits, but when you go up to them, it will tell you. It's basically concept art, but it's done in a good way. Of you walk into a Rapture museum, and it's like, oh, we had these are the reasons why we had this. This was the original enemies of the splicers.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's. I think you would have really liked that.
Is it just the main menu?
The main menu, you go to the museum and it.
I saw just when researching on like YouTube and things that there was apparently the little sisters were originally going to be like rat people, and then they were going to they were going to be like frog people.
You can't emphasize with a frog.
Yeah, and then but then the frog people turned in, like the design for the frog people turned into the slug things that were in their stomachs anyway. So
I didn't realise that until I accidentally sacrificed one. I was like, oh, this is how
There were supposed to be little brothers, but they got cut during development. Director of the game, Ken Levine, has said that the Would You Kindly twist was a commentary on the player's choice and following the instructions of a non-player character without question. And I was like, I put it back as I feel smart because I absolutely predicted that.
Yeah, that's what I quite like. Is a lot of people would be playing and just going, "Oh, this is just my objective."
Yeah.
When it's actually, like I say, you're not playing the character. You're playing the brainwashing until you get it removed. You are simply playing the brainwashing.
But let the record show that in part 1 of this episode, I absolutely said that.
Sure.
I
You
feel
did.
very smart. Reception. The aggregate score, according to many games publications, according to Wikipedia, is a 9 to 10 out of 10.
Really?
Yes.
Again, it's
At the time, I get it.
that's and this will go on to my rating. I think if I was playing this in 2007, I think this would be one of my favourite games. If I was playing it in 2007,
I think we do say this a lot. What I do when we play older games, a product of its time.
I think that's bollocks though, because there are plenty of older games that did a lot of things that this game did better.
It's less true for this game, I would say. Yeah, 100%.
I don't think this is a product of its time.
Product of its time only works when there's limitations.
Yeah,
As in,
okay.
by 2007, you could make any game you wanted.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, you could only make Mario jump up and down. But between 2007 and 2010, it sold 4 million copies.
That's not bad.
And it won Best Game at the BAFTA Game Awards in 2007. I've got a new segment here as well.
Yeah. Oh, a new segment.
What's your favourite sound of the game?
Oh yeah. I wish you would have said beforehand,
I
so I
like
can actually go back.
The sound of
think.
like the turret starting.
Yeah, I like that. I wish you would have
Or
said
a new
before, and I
objective.
would have.
My favourite sound is "Come back when you got some money, buddy." Who is Ken Levine?
You know what? I would say Atlas's voice.
Oh yeah. Sure.
I've said it loads of times. I really like his accent. I like the Irish accent.
I like the sound of the machine gun turrets finding you and go.
Oh yeah. Yes, yeah.
Or like the cameras when they like going white and they can't see you, like.
Yeah.
Your favourite character?
Yeah, Andrew Ryan.
Sander Cohen. I love
Okay,
Sander
that's
Cohen.
a good side.
That's bad,
I feel bad for killing him, especially since the loot wasn't even that
And
good.
you don't have to kill him.
Yeah,
you can go for that entire
That makes
game.
me like it a whole lot more.
All right, and then the news segment is called "What would you do in this situation?" Wait, you're in a bathysphere. You end up in Rapture. What would you do?
Am I mind controlled at this point?
Well, like
Because if I am,
No.
not much.
you're not Jack Wynad. You're you.
Okay. So I've been sent to Rapture, basically.
Jack
Well,
White.
it's
To be honest-
only in like the
To be
files of
honest,
the game.
I don't think I'd sit in the bathysphere. I think if my plane crashed.
No, you've woken up in the bathysphere.
Oh, okay.
I've got a really bad fear of the sea. I've got like a
No, you're
crippling
under
fear.
it. No, you're under it.
I think I'd die. I'd shoot myself in the head. I genuinely, honestly, it would be my worst
I would
nightmare.
probably end up like with the plasmids, like lighting myself on fire.
But would you inject yourself with a plasmid? If you saw a station was like, just inject yourself with this magic poison.
I struggle with tablets.
Yeah, I would have done that.
I struggle with
Swallow this paracetamol. Oh shit, I
I'm
guess
not
I'm
sure
dead.
about this. Would you kindly? I really don't want to.
And we've already answered, would we be interested in playing the sequels? I think yes.
Absolutely, yes.
And then, I've got a big paragraph to read for my ranking.
Oh, fuck's sake, here we go.
Okay, well, do you want to do the number first, or do you want to?
No, let's get him out of the way because we're going to be here for an hour.
It was a 7 out of 10 during the Arcadian Frolic bits. They were the best parts of the game, but it fell back to the point that it was at before, back before those levels, straight afterwards. Like, it just felt like the same game again after that. The gameplay, not the story again, even though the ending was bollocks. And it says right here, and it might be the most disappointing ending to a game I've seen in recent memory,
Really?
especially after the highs of the twist of Andrew Ryan and Fontaine.
Yeah.
How can you write a cool scene like that and an epic world, and then have an ending like that though? Like and such like a cool world and such epic scenes like Fontaine and Ryan and such interesting characters, and have an ending as dull as that. Even so, you cannot judge the quality on the game based solely on its ending. Like you can't like just because it has a bad ending doesn't mean you can judge the whole game.
It does leave a sour taste though.
I did have a lot of fun with this game in the end, and as I said before, the atmosphere in the world is building is incredible. However, combat-wise, this game didn't improve much from my criticism before and remains feeling a bit flat and unimpactful. I liked this game and had a good time with it, but unfortunately only gained half a point from the halfway point. It's a 6.5.
Well, I know what I'm going to give it, and I feel like I'm going to get some hate for it. Because this is, for the first time ever, I'm going to give it, could be the lowest score.
Ooh. What are you giving it?
6.
Ooh,
That's not the lowest score. We've given it.
No, as in like,
your
the
lowest
three of
score,
us now. I would never play this game again. I'd never play it again. This is the second time I played it. The first time, I remember really liking it. This time, I was basically speedrunning it towards the end. I was not enjoying it.
Yeah.
It started to grind me down. The gameplay was wearing thin. It outstayed its welcome. The only reason I'd ever play it again is in a YouTube video watching the story.
To be fair, in its defence, it's quite short.
It is quite short.
So it's
and it was
10
a
hours
welcome.
long. Yeah.
The pace was welcome, but even then it dragged.
Any longer, and the score would have dropped for me as well.
Yeah. Can I just say, ran perfectly on the Steam Deck.
Oh, cool. Cool. That's good.
But nah, it put me off playing BioShock 2. If this is worse.
Right. I've heard. I saw some reviews saying BioShock 2 was good.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
So, I am going to rate this. So, what I'll always... I mentioned before, I prefer playing... I think I would have really enjoyed this game playing it when it first came out. And I think I would have loved this if I was me playing it when it came out.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've had a lot of more games story-based. Obviously, we had some lows before, but... So, I think I would have loved it then. Do you know what I got playing this? As I obviously know the story.
Yeah.
And that sometimes can affect it. I got a lot of when I first played The Last of Us last year.
Oh, really?
I knew exactly everything that happened.
Be careful with The Last of Us. I don't know anything about The Last of Us.
I won't spoil it, but I knew everything that happened. I've seen all the gameplay, and then when I played, I was still. That sometimes would affect me. When I played, I was still like, "This is one of the best games I've played." Cool. If I would have played this in 2013, this would have been my favourite game of all time.
Okay. Right.
So I went through my games.
I can see that. 100%.
And I knew.
As in if we played back in like 2007, you mean? Or...
I'm talking about Last of Us. If I would have, I've got the same feeling as that.
Okay.
There is definitely stuff wrong with this game.
Yeah.
But the second part, I definitely really want to play the other ones. It's definitely got me in the mood. I've given it an 8.
I feel like I'm just going to go back and justify my point. I recognise that this is a good game.
Yeah.
It frustrated me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I get that, and that's what I say. It's only going up a point for me. I've just said that a game I've known probably more about The Last of Us when I played. If we were playing that now, I would give that a 9.
I would like to say a counterpoint to Tom's counterpoint. I don't recognise this as a good game. I think it's a fine game. I think it's a fun time, but I don't think it's. I think it's a Fontaine, but
that's classic.
But I don't think it's nearly as good as the game reviewers say it is. I feel like it needs a reappraisal from those game publishers. Again, 2007, maybe it wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's the same with TV shows.
Yeah,
you get points where Breaking Bad is amazing TV show. It's almost like you can't really compare a lot to that. Before that, it was Sopranos. You always get these almost standouts. They will not always be judged, and they'll always be outdated from stuff that comes future.
Right.
But if you compare it to what came before...
Are we rolling dice?
Time to roll. So Peter, remind us, what are the categories of the dice roll?
Yet again.
If it's a number 1 on the dice, it's a nostalgic game. If we roll a 2 on the dice, it's a game within the last 5 years. If it's a 5 on the dice, that's what?
A 3?
If it's a 3 on the dice, we roll. If it's a 3 on the dice, it's any game from the 2010s. If it's a 4 on the dice, it's any game from the 2000s. If it's a 5 on the dice, it's any game from before 2000. And if it's a 6 on the dice, it is a random game. Because Rand's back this month.
Randomised. Anything goes here today.
So what are we hoping for?
Well, we actually had some predictions. I'm feeling 2010 game.
I'm thinking...
I'd love a 2010 game.
I'm thinking late 90s, early 2000s, which are 2 different categories, but... I think
I'm hoping
Maybe a
2010.
nostalgia game you're thinking, because that would have been
2010 or last 5 years.
something we haven't had yet.
It's the last 5 years. I'm going to go last 5 years. I'd like that.
we've done lots of 90s, we've done one 2000, we've done one...
Let's see something new, please.
Emma,
Could you roll that dice?
dice roll?
Oh,
5.
It's a 6, a random.
it's a 6. we take do the dice. This is our third random game. Almost in a row. That dice is fucking rigged. I'm sure of it. This dice is
Well, if
rigged.
I roll it 6 times now, how many 6s am I going to get? 6.
I mean, that is the scientific way of doing it, but
3.
So two games.
sorry, hang on a second.
I got 1 6.
There's another 5. 5 is also a one that keeps
I
coming
only
up.
got 1 5.
So quantity 2.
Half-Life 1 versus Hitman 1. For and against for Half-Life.
Half-Life, I've never played it before, don't know what happens, I know nothing.
Right.
Other than you play as Gordon Freeman.
Yes.
Are you sure it's not?
Well,
Are
okay,
you sure
well,
it's
maybe
not?
don't.
Are you sure it's a guy not who's like,
Morgan.
hello, I'm Morgan Freeman. No, it is Gordon Freeman.
It's a first-person shooter. It's supposedly one of the best games ever. I know nothing. I'm genuinely quite excited to play it.
What's your for and against for Hitman's?
4, it sounds wacky as shit. Against, it sounds so fucking hard. I think I won't finish it.
I've played first Hitman. We're in for an experience.
I'm up for playing it, but I think I might cry.
What's your for and against for Half-Life?
It's not a goose game.
I've never played Half-Life. Well, not the first one anyway.
Yeah.
When did it come out?
98.
98. Pity you're
Right,
for and
that's
against.
My for and against is the Half-Life series. The Half-Life Portable universe is my favourite video game universe ever. I adore the Half-Life Portable universe and their shared connectivity of Rapture Science and Black Mesa Research Facility. Played all of the Half-Life games before. I love them so much. It's on my... It's not on my nostalgia, it's on my pre-90s. But it should be on my nostalgia for me, because it's brilliant. My against for it is that I've played it before.
Okay.
My for and against for Half-Life is...
For Hitman.
What was it? What did I say?
You just said Half-Life.
My for and against for Hitman is because the same
We're
H's.
just gonna keep going in a loop.
My for and against for
Half-Life.
for the Hitmen is the Hitman games look really good. I played a little bit of the red one.
Blood Money.
Absolution.
Oh, Absolution.
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 I played a little bit of that one,
I like that.
and I do like a stealth game.
How easy did you find that game? Was that quite easy?
The 1, 2, and 3, the recent ones are very good.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
just know
the
that this-
new ones are brilliant.
I just know that this game is gonna be fucking nothing like it, and I'm really nervous.
Yeah, and
It's
yeah.
good. I would say it's hard, but it's definitely
I'm
good.
gonna be looking at a guide. I just know.
But we looked at guides for Super Metroid,
That's true.
Yes, we did.
and that was, I was glued to the guide for Super Metroid.
I think it'll be even more. I think it'll be a
Like
second
every
screen.
step Samus would take on look at a
I
guide.
think it might not be much different from what I've heard.
Familiarity versus frustration.
But you don't know it's frustrating.
Well,
you're-
you're advertising.
I'm-
It's frustrating.
but-
Yeah, I haven't played.
I was like, you've never played it.
Okay, I've got it. I've got my answer.
I'm happy to play either, but I'm fucking nervous.
I've got my answer.
Yeah.
Alright, on 3? Are we saying on 3?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, say it.
1, 2, 3.
Half-
Hitman.
I fucking
Yes.
Because I think you're over exaggerating. I think it's going to be fine.
Agent 47, Codename 47.
Codename 47.
Is it on?
Can
is
you
it
look
on
up
Steam?
both games were already on the list, so don't worry, we'll get to Half-Life eventually.
we could probably end that now, can't we? Cool.
Well, we're going to do the ending bit of
Well, should we?
next.
Hey!
Come on! We'll see you next time.